When I grew up and fell in love, I asked.
The story unfolds around a Hollywood superstar who finds herself in a whirlwind of betrayal and financial ruin. After a seemingly perfect relationship, her partner's true colors emerge, leaving her not only heartbroken but also deeply in debt. As the glamorous facade of her life crumbles, she must navigate the treacherous waters of fame and deceit. The betrayal cuts deep, revealing the darker side of the entertainment industry where trust is a rare commodity. Friends turn into foes, and the once adoring public begins to question her every move. With mounting bills and a tarnished reputation, she embarks on a journey to reclaim her life and her career. Along the way, she discovers hidden strengths and allies she never knew she had. The stakes are high as she confronts the man who left her in this precarious situation, determined to rise from the ashes of her shattered dreams. The tension builds as she fights not just for her financial stability, but for her very identity in a world that can be as cruel as it is glamorous.
I am Ambrose Chapel. What can I do for you?
Well,
While attending a medical conference in Paris, the American physician Ben McKenna, his wife Jo, a retired musical theater actress and singer, and their adolescent son Hank decide to take a side trip to Marrakesh. Their journey takes a dark turn when they encounter a Frenchman named Louis Bernard on their bus ride. This man, who later approaches Ben with a knife plunged into his back, cryptically whispers a warning into Ben's ear. He reveals that there will be an attempted assassination of a statesman in London. This shocking revelation sets off a chain of events that thrust the McKenna family into a dangerous world of intrigue and conspiracy. As they navigate through the vibrant streets of Marrakesh, they must unravel the mystery behind Bernard's warning while trying to protect their son, who becomes entangled in the plot. The tension escalates as Ben and Jo race against time to prevent the assassination and save their family from the looming threat. The film captures the essence of suspense and the lengths a parent will go to for their child.
But we can't do anything.
what do you mean you can't do anything?
Every embassy in a foreign country has extra...
Ben feels a heavy weight on his shoulders as he grapples with the situation unfolding around him. His reluctance to provide any information to the authorities stems from the dire circumstances involving his son, Hank. Kidnapped by a British couple, Edward and Lucy Drayton, who had previously befriended the McKennas in Marrakesh, Ben is caught in a web of fear and uncertainty. The Draytons, who seem charming and trustworthy, have turned into the very people he must now suspect. The thought that they might have taken Hank out of the country and back to England fills him with dread. Ben knows that if he speaks up, it could alert the kidnappers and put Hank in even greater danger. The emotional turmoil he faces is immense. He feels torn between the need to act and the instinct to protect his son at all costs. Each moment that passes without Hank feels like an eternity, and the pressure to make the right decision weighs heavily on him. He understands that the authorities could help, but the fear of losing his son forever keeps him silent. The stakes are high, and Ben's heart races as he contemplates his next move, knowing that every choice he makes could change everything for his family. The unknown people threatening the Draytons have put their son in grave danger. They have warned Ben that if he reveals any information he learned from the dying Bernard, their son Hank will be killed. This dire situation pushes Ben and Jo into action. With only limited information at their disposal, they make the urgent decision to travel to London. Their goal is clear: they must stop the assassination attempt on Hank and, more importantly, find him alive. The journey is fraught with tension as they navigate the city, trying to piece together clues that could lead them to their son. Each moment is filled with anxiety, knowing that time is running out. They encounter various obstacles and must rely on their instincts and courage to confront the threats that loom over them. The stakes are high, and the bond between Ben and Jo strengthens as they work together to protect Hank from the sinister forces at play. Their determination fuels their quest, driving them deeper into a web of intrigue and danger. The urgency of their mission becomes a race against time as they strive to uncover the truth and save their son from a fate they cannot bear to imagine. Scotland Yard was aware of several critical elements during the filming of The Man Who Knew Too Much. They knew that Bernard was a French secret agent and that an assassination attempt was planned. This knowledge added a layer of tension to the production as the stakes felt unusually high. Meanwhile, Doris Day, who played a significant role in the film, became increasingly concerned about her performance. She felt that Alfred Hitchcock, the director, was more focused on camera setups, lighting, and technical aspects than on her acting. This led her to believe that he was dissatisfied with her work. Eventually, she decided to confront Hitchcock directly about her worries. His response was reassuring yet revealing. He told her, "My dear Miss Day, if you weren't giving me what I want, then I would have to direct you." This meant that his lack of direction was actually a sign that she was performing exactly as he envisioned. The dynamic between them highlighted the unique relationship between a director and an actress, especially in a film filled with suspense and intrigue. The atmosphere on set was charged with both the film's plot and the personal concerns of its stars, creating a memorable experience for everyone involved. At first, Doris Day refused to record the song Que sera, sera, dismissing it as a forgettable children's tune. Her initial reaction was one of skepticism, as she did not see the potential in the song. However, this song went on to achieve remarkable success, winning an Academy Award and becoming the biggest hit of her recording career. It transformed into her signature song, resonating with audiences far beyond her expectations. Doris Day's connection to Que sera, sera did not end with its initial release. She sang this beloved song in 2 more films, Please Don't Eat the Daisies in 1960, and The Glass Bottom Boat in 1966. Additionally, the song was used as the theme for her television series, The Doris Day Show, which aired for 124 episodes starting in 1968. This unexpected journey from doubt to iconic status highlights the song's enduring appeal and Doris Day's significant impact on music and film.
Whatever gives the best profit?
Well, now that you're in...
During the making of the film, Doris Day witnessed the treatment of animal extras in the marketplace scene, which deeply affected her. She was appalled at the conditions in which the camels, goats, and other animals were kept. This experience sparked a strong sense of responsibility in her, leading to a lifelong commitment to prevent animal abuse. Day could not ignore the suffering of these animals, and took a stand. She refused to continue working on the film unless the animals were properly fed and cared for. Her dedication to their welfare was so profound that the production company had to respond to her concerns. They set up feeding stations to ensure that the various goats, sheep, camels, and other animals received daily nourishment. This change was necessary for Day to agree to return to the set and resume filming. Her actions not only highlighted the need for better treatment of animals in the film industry, but also set a precedent for future productions to prioritize animal welfare. Day's commitment became a significant part of her legacy, influencing how animals are treated in entertainment.
Apple.
Mr. Ambrose Chapel.
Oh, Mr. Conway, didn't know you were there.
When Doris Day arrived at her London hotel for the filming of The Man Who Knew Too Much, the excitement was palpable. Her popularity in Britain had reached extraordinary heights, and news of her arrival spread like wildfire. Mobs of fans gathered outside the hotel, eagerly waiting to catch a glimpse of the beloved star. As she stepped out of her vehicle, pandemonium erupted. The sheer joy and enthusiasm of her fans created a scene that was both thrilling and chaotic. The crowd surged forward, calling out her name, desperate for autographs and a moment of connection with the actress they adored. The situation quickly escalated, and it became clear that Doris needed a police escort to safely enter the hotel. Despite the security measures, the fans continued to surround the building, camping out day and night, hoping for a chance to see her. The hotel management, overwhelmed by the constant commotion and the disruption to their regular operations, eventually decided they could no longer accommodate the frenzy. They asked Doris to leave, hoping to restore some sense of normalcy to the hotel. This incident highlighted not only Doris Day's immense popularity, but also the lengths to which her fans would go to show their admiration. Initially, the script for the Royal Albert Hall scene in The Man Who Knew Too Much included a significant amount of dialogue. Jimmy Stewart was meant to deliver a lengthy, page-long speech explaining the urgent need to stop the concert. However, this approach did not resonate well with Alfred Hitchcock. He expressed his dissatisfaction, stating that there was too much talking, which detracted from his enjoyment of the London Symphony. Hitchcock believed that the emotional weight of the scene could be conveyed more effectively without extensive dialogue. He instructed Stewart to abandon the speech entirely, opting instead for a more physical form of expression. Hitchcock suggested that Stewart simply wave his arms and run up the stairs, emphasizing action over words. This preference for visual storytelling over spoken dialogue reflected Hitchcock's broader artistic philosophy, as he often viewed the spoken word with suspicion, believing that images could communicate more powerfully than dialogue. This change ultimately shaped the scene into a more dynamic and engaging moment in the film.
Call him if I needed him, and I need him right now.
I'm awfully sorry, but I simply can't get in touch with him.
In the film The Man Who Knew Too Much, a significant plot point revolves around the character Louis Bernard, played by Daniel Gallan. The story unfolds with the revelation that Bernard is not actually Moroccan, as initially believed. This twist is cleverly executed through the use of makeup, which was intended to give Gallan the appearance of a Moroccan man. However, the makeup artist faced challenges in finding a product that would easily come off. After numerous trials, the solution was to paint Jimmy Stewart's fingers with a light-colored powder. This clever technique allowed Stewart to leave light, pale streaks on Gallan's skin when he ran his fingers across it. This detail not only added to the authenticity of the scene, but also highlighted the creative problem-solving that went into the film's production. The makeup choice played a crucial role in the narrative, enhancing the tension and intrigue surrounding Bernard's true identity. The film's ability to weave such elements into its storyline showcases the artistry involved in filmmaking during that era. The discovery of Bernard's identity becomes a pivotal moment, driving the plot forward and engaging the audience in the unfolding mystery. The careful attention to detail in the makeup and character portrayal reflects the dedication of the filmmakers to create a compelling and believable story. The interplay of identity and deception is a central theme, making this moment in the film particularly memorable and impactful.
We will be. The future's not ours to see.
During the filming of The Man Who Knew Too Much, a misunderstanding arose among the Moroccan extras. Many of them had been mistakenly informed that their payment depended on being visible in the final cut of the movie. This led to a chaotic scene on set, as the extras pushed and shoved to get closer to the camera, hoping to secure their place in the film. The atmosphere became tense as they jostled for position, believing that their financial compensation hinged on their visibility. The crew, noticing the commotion, stepped in to clarify the situation. They explained to the extras that their payment was guaranteed regardless of whether they appeared on screen or not. This revelation brought a sense of relief to the extras, who had been anxious about their earnings. Once the misunderstanding was cleared up, the extras were able to relax and focus on their roles without the pressure of needing to be in the spotlight. The crew's intervention helped restore order and allowed the filming to proceed smoothly. The incident highlighted the importance of clear communication on set, especially when working with a diverse group of people. The experience served as a reminder of how easily misunderstandings can occur in the film industry, particularly in international settings where language and cultural differences may play a role. The resolution of this issue contributed to a more harmonious working environment, allowing everyone to contribute to the film without unnecessary stress. Look closely, and you'll see a face you recognize in a London hotel. That face belongs to Carolyn Jones, who has a small part as a redhead named Cindy Fontaine. Cindy is one of Joe Conway's friends, and their brief encounter at the hotel adds a layer of intrigue to the film. Although her role in The Man Who Knew Too Much is minor, it is significant in the context of her career. Carolyn Jones would later become famous for her portrayal of Morticia Addams on the beloved television show The Addams Family, which aired from 1964 to 1966. In that iconic role, she transformed into a character that was both glamorous and eerie, showcasing her talent for embodying complex personas. The contrast between her vibrant redhead character in the 1956 film and the dark, gothic elegance of Morticia highlights her versatility as an actress. This early appearance in a suspenseful Hitchcock film serves as a fascinating footnote in her career, marking the beginning of her journey toward becoming a television icon. The film itself is a classic, filled with tension and drama, but Carolyn's brief moment on screen is a delightful surprise for those who recognize her. Her ability to captivate audiences would only grow as she took on more significant roles in the years to come. The connection between her early work and her later fame adds an interesting layer to the viewing experience, making it a treat for fans of classic cinema and television alike. The gray suit worn by Joe in the latter part of The Man Who Knew Too Much may remind viewers of the gray suit that Madeline wears in Vertigo, but they are not identical. Joe's suit is made of silk and features 6 buttons, while Madeline's suit is crafted from wool and has 5 buttons. This difference in fabric and button count highlights the distinct styles of the two characters. Additionally, the tailoring of the suits is slightly different, which adds to their unique appearances. The pockets on each suit are not the same either, further emphasizing the individuality of the designs. These subtle details in the suits reflect the characters' personalities and the different worlds they inhabit within their respective films. The choice of materials and the number of buttons can convey a lot about a character's status and style, making these suits more than just clothing, but a part of the storytelling. The attention to detail in costume design plays a crucial role in how audiences perceive the characters and their journeys. In Alfred Hitchcock's films, he is known for making brief appearances, often referred to as cameos. In the 1956 movie The Man Who Knew Too Much, his cameo is particularly challenging to spot. Unlike many of his other films where he appears more prominently, here he is seen only from behind. This moment occurs when the main characters, played by Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day, are watching acrobats perform in the bustling Marrakech marketplace. Hitchcock stands to the left of the couple, and while viewers do not get a frontal view of his face, his distinctive silhouette is recognizable. The most notable feature is his oddly shaped bald head, which fans of his work have come to associate with him. This clever placement adds an extra layer of enjoyment for those who are familiar with his tradition of cameos, making it a fun challenge to spot him in this particular scene. The subtlety of this appearance reflects Hitchcock's unique style and his playful relationship with his audience, inviting them to engage more deeply with his films. Doris Day had an extreme fear of flying that developed during her time touring with Bob Hope in the 1940s. This fear was not unfounded, as she experienced several close calls in terrible weather while traveling. The anxiety associated with flying became a significant concern for her, especially when she was offered a role in the 1956 movie The Man Who Knew Too Much. The film required her to travel to distant locations, including London and Marrakech, which intensified her apprehension about flying. Initially, she almost turned down the role due to her fear. However, her husband and manager, Martin Melcher, played a crucial role in persuading her to accept the part. He encouraged her to confront her fears and embrace the opportunity. This decision not only allowed her to showcase her talent in a major film, but also marked a significant moment in her career, as she overcame a personal challenge to fulfill her professional obligations. The experience highlighted her resilience and determination in the face of fear.
Muddled everything from the start. Taking that child with you from Marrakesh. Don't you realize that Americans...
Speaking of her third husband, Doris Day faced a shocking reality when he passed away on April 20, 1968. This was a turning point in her life, as she discovered that he and his business partner, a lawyer named Jerome Rosenthal, had squandered all her earnings. This revelation left her broke and deeply in debt, a situation that was both alarming and distressing for the beloved actress and singer. Rosenthal had been her attorney since 1949, when he represented her in an uncontested divorce action against her second husband. His long-standing relationship with Doris made the betrayal even more painful. She had trusted him with her financial matters, believing he had her best interests at heart. Instead, she found herself in a precarious financial situation, struggling to understand how someone she relied on could lead her to such a dire state. The emotional toll of this discovery was immense, as it not only affected her finances, but also her sense of security and trust in others. The fallout from this mismanagement would haunt her for years, forcing her to reassess her financial decisions and the people she chose to surround herself with. The experience was a harsh lesson in the importance of vigilance and the need to take control of her own financial destiny.
Just like this. It won't break. Oh, no.
Well, I'm going...
They also learned that her husband had committed her to do a television series, something she didn't want to do. He signed for her and bound her to this television series, which went on to become the Doris Day Show. Doris hated the idea of performing on TV, but she felt obligated to do it. The pressure of her husband's decision weighed heavily on her, as she needed some way to earn a substantial income to help pay off the debts that had been incurred by him. Despite her reluctance, she stepped into the role, and the show turned out to be a huge success. This unexpected triumph helped her regain her footing after being manipulated by someone she fully trusted. The series not only provided her with financial stability, but also allowed her to showcase her talents in a new medium. Over time, she found a way to embrace the experience, even if it started from a place of obligation. The journey from reluctance to success became a significant chapter in her life, illustrating her resilience and ability to adapt to challenging circumstances.
We just have a conversation. I've got nothing to hide.
I have a feeling that...
The Man Who Knew Too Much, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, is a film that occupies a curious space in the director's oeuvre, particularly within the context of his 1950s work. While it may not reach the heights of suspense that some of his other films achieve, it offers a blend of entertainment that many viewers find enjoyable. The film stars James Stewart and Doris Day as a vacationing couple who inadvertently become embroiled in a plot filled with foreign intrigue and danger, particularly revolving around the kidnapping of their son. One of the film's most memorable sequences occurs during a climactic concert, where the tension builds around a pivotal cymbal clash that signals an assassination attempt. This clever setup showcases Hitchcock's knack for suspense, as the audience is made aware of the impending danger, creating a race against time that is both thrilling and engaging. Many viewers appreciate this aspect, noting that it adds a layer of excitement to the narrative, reminiscent of the comedic thriller Foul Play, which seems to draw inspiration from this earlier work. However, not all critiques are as favorable. Some reviewers argue that the film feels somewhat unambitious and lacks the depth of Hitchcock's more celebrated works. They suggest that the attempt to blend humor with suspense does not quite succeed, leading to a disjointed experience. The lighter moments, which might fit comfortably in a typical Doris Day or Jimmy Stewart film, clash with the darker themes of kidnapping and danger, resulting in a tonal imbalance that detracts from the overall impact. Critics have pointed out that certain plot elements, such as the misunderstanding surrounding Ambrose Chapel, come off as contrived and overly simplistic. This reliance on a pun as a plot device feels outdated, especially in the context of the 1950s, and some viewers find it hard to maintain their suspension of disbelief. The film's pacing also draws criticism, particularly in the latter half, where the resolution seems to drag on unnecessarily. The repetition of Doris Day's performance of Syrah is seen by some as excessive, detracting from the film's tension rather than enhancing it. Despite these criticisms, the performances of Stewart and Day are generally well received, with particular praise for Day's emotional depth in certain scenes. One standout moment occurs when Stewart's character administers sedatives to Day, showcasing a raw vulnerability that resonates with audiences. However, some feel that this emotional weight is not fully explored as the film shifts back to its suspenseful narrative, leaving a sense of missed opportunity for deeper character development. In summary, The Man Who Knew Too Much is a film that elicits a range of opinions. While it may not be considered one of Hitchcock's masterpieces, it offers a mix of suspense and entertainment that can be appreciated, particularly by fans of the director. The film's attempts at humor and its pacing may not resonate with everyone, but its iconic moments and performances provide enough merit for a viewing. For those seeking a more polished Hitchcock experience, films like To Catch a Thief may be more satisfying, but The Man Who Knew Too Much remains a noteworthy entry in his filmography, reflecting both the strengths and weaknesses of his style during this period.
Well, you want to talk here?
Certainly. We have no secrets from our employees.